Hi, welcome to Grow New Plants. So today I'm going to program the battery operated Galcon timer that goes to my misting and irrigation down here. So when this thing comes on, it just comes up on the time, and if it's asleep, this one wasn't asleep, if it's asleep, you just hit this. This right here is your menu selection, so it selects where you want to be in the menu. This right here is it's a selection to change where you are in the menu, and then these actually change the value. So we're on the time now. So I hit the arrow and the time starts blinking. Okay, so then I want to increase the time, and it's 2 something p.m. Let me double check. It's 2:28 p.m. So I hit the arrow again and it'll select the minutes. We'll go up to 2:28. And then once that's done, this will take us to the next menu. So the next menu, it's got the little valve up here and then a little arrow. So we're on valve number 1, which is the one we want. That's the one we're going to set for the misting. So that's okay. We don't have, if you want to change that, you just hit the arrow and then arrow across. So we want to stay on 1, so we select that. Okay, now this is how long you want each valve to run. So right now it's set on 2 minutes, but we want to change this. So we're going to hit this. We don't need hours. We want to change minutes to 0. And we want to change seconds to 10. Now I said earlier this thing will go to down to 5 seconds. The smallest it will go, I guess because of the way the solenoids are, the DC solenoids, it'll only allow it to go down to 10 seconds, but that's fine. So we're going to, and if I wanted to change that, I can increase it, whatever, but from 10 it goes back up to 59 seconds. So we're going to leave that at 10 seconds. So that's the duration that we want to set. So that's going to mean that this valve number 1 is going to water for 10 seconds at a time. And then this goes down to the days of the week, the little calendar thing that means days of the week. So from days of the week, we're going to select that. And it's got, say right now it's going Monday, and you just want to go all the way across. This is setting this up for cyclical. We'll set one up for a regular, for the top bed after this. So right now it's set for cyclical, so it means it's going to go every day, or it's going to go on a cycle. It's not necessarily going to pay attention to the days, and it's set on once. Okay, we don't want it to go once. We want it to go every 5 minutes. That's what I'm going to set this for normally. I'm going to set it for 1 minute right now, and that way I can show you the thing. I can actually let you watch it go off every minute. We won't have to wait 5 minutes between. So right now I'm going to set this one for 1 minute. Normally I would go, my starting time is going to be 10 seconds for every 5 minutes, but I'm going to set it to 1 for right now. So that's how often it's going to water. It's going to water for 10 seconds every minute. So we go ahead and select that, and that tells you what you want for your start time. And we'll go ahead, it's 2:31 now, so we'll go ahead and select this. 2 is fine. We'll just go ahead and set it for 2:33. We'll set it for 34 just to be safe, and I can cut out the time in between. The days you don't pay any attention to. If you're setting it on cyclical, don't worry about the days. So it's going to start running at 2:34, and that's when it's going to have its actual start time. And I'll get to why this time is here, but that's when it's just going to run its first cycle. So you go ahead and hit enter again. This is saying if it's got a rain sensor. It does not have one, so you can just leave that to off. Now this opens your, the W open. That's like an open gate on there. So that's your window open. So that's what time do you want the window to open. So normally this thing is going to go, I'm going to set it to start out with to come on at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I set it for 8 o'clock a.m. and then you hit it again, and that is the window closed. That's the gates closed, the window closed. And initially, I'm going to set that to go, oh, I gotta hit that to get the times. Hit that to change the times. So I'm gonna change this to 5 p.m. Actually, it's really hot here. I'm gonna go ahead and let it run until 7 p.m. because it's still pretty hot out here. It's getting up to 100 every day where I'm at, so I'm going to let it go ahead and run until 7 p.m. So then you hit that again, and this is for a manual button. You can ignore that. So right now, so the clock is set for 2:31 and 50 seconds, and we can go back and look at what we set. We got valve number 1. It's going to run for 10 seconds, once every 1 minute. 10 seconds every 1 minute. It's going to start at 2:34. That's just an initial start time. The rain sensor's off. After what it'll do, it'll start running at 2:34 to run the rest of today, and after that it'll start coming on at 8 o'clock, and then it will kick off at 7 p.m. We don't need the manual button. So right now it's going to kick on in, I guess, a minute and a half from right now. So I'll just edit this down, and when I get close to that time, I'll edit the video back on. Okay, it's fixing to kick on in 4 seconds. All right, it's 2:34, and there they are, they're running now. It says it's going to run for 10 seconds, so when I was playing with this earlier, it seemed like it ran for a little bit longer. Maybe it takes longer for the valve to shut off. Yeah, it actually ran for about 15 seconds. I think it just takes a minute. I think it opens the valve for 10 seconds, but it takes maybe a few seconds for the valve to shut itself back off and the pressure to drop. So it runs a little bit more than 10 seconds, but that's fine. The worst case scenario, if it's too much water for them, I'm going to do a lot of adjusting, I'm sure, on these things. Once I get cuttings in here, I'm going to do a lot of adjusting to get it right. So it should kick back on again. So it's 2:34:50 right now. So at 2:35, it should kick on and run another 10 seconds. So we got 3 seconds. So we'll see if it kicks back on again. And there it is, kicking back on again. So the way it's set right now, it's going to, every 1 minute, it's going to come on and run for 10 seconds. So that's perfect. That's the way we need it. So, you know, I will go back and adjust it to 10 seconds every 5 minutes. And then I'll just keep an eye on the plants and see how they look, and figure out what's the best for mine. So I'm going to reset up here, and then we will set the valves up on the top, set them up for a regular irrigation cycle, because they're just going to water. To start with, I'm going to water them once a day. I may come back and change them to twice a day. I don't know. I'll just have to see how they do, but I'll get set up and we'll do that. Okay, so we're ready to set up the irrigation timer for the top set of irrigation lines. And one thing I didn't do earlier is when I was on the time, I did not set the days. So we're on the time menu here. So I'm going to hit the arrow, hit it again, hit it again. Now the days blink. And today is actually Tuesday, so I need to move that to Tuesday. And then I hit that. So now we have the time in the right day set. So we're back at the valve menu again on valve number 1. So we want to hit the arrow, and we want to go over, and then we want to select valve number 2 now, see where that one's blinking. So we hit that. For right now, I'm going to set it just because I don't want to make a mess, and I have my camera here, so I want to be able to film it. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is one I will probably set for like 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes to water once a day. And I'm going to tell you something real quick too. So I don't want these valves opening at the same time. So the irrigation that I'm going to do on the top up here, I'm going to have it come on at like 6:20 or something like that, or 6:30 in the morning. And then if I water it a second time, I'll have it come on after 8 o'clock when the other ones. So the one on the top will run at a time separate from the misters, because I don't want them coming on at the same time. So the plants on top will either water early in the morning and that's it, or they'll water early in the morning and then late in the evening or late in the afternoon after the mist irrigation is shut off. So anyway, so we're going to set it right now for just a time that we can see it go off. So it's 2:42 now, so we're going to set it for 2:45. So we're going to set on our time here. So you hit the arrows to set our time, and I'm just going to set it for arrow over. I'm going to go to 0 minutes, and then we'll set it for 20 seconds. Okay, so this one's going to come on for 20 seconds. Normally I'm going to set this one for probably 10 to 15 minutes. It just depends on how much water I need to get to my plants, but I'll adjust that as I go. So right now this is going to have a duration of 20 seconds. So we hit that again. On the days, we want to go hit the arrow, and what days do we want it to run? And we can say cyclical here, and I'll explain this to you in a second. So we stay on the cyclical, and it's going to say once, and that goes to once every minute, you can pick anywhere from a minute to 30 days. And this kind of a pain here, but what you got to do is just take the minutes up, and once it gets to 24 hours, then it'll switch to days. So 22, 23, 24, now it's set at 1 day. So it's going to come on once a day and run for however many minutes or seconds or whatever you have it to run. So this one's just going to come on once a day. So we have that set. Now we go to the next menu. It's going to ask for our start time, and it's 2:44 now, so let's set it for 2:46. So you hit the arrow to change your values. 2 is fine, so arrow again. We'll change it to 46. We'll change it to 47 just to be safe. And then you hit, so it's 2:47. Rain sensor's off. We don't need the manual. So we're back at 2:42. So at 2:47 now, this one is going to kick on the top sprinklers, and it should run for 20 seconds. So I'm going to move my camera back, and then I'll cut back in when this thing's at 2:47. Okay, in 5 more seconds, this thing should kick on the top sprinklers now. And there they go. So that's going to run for 20 seconds. Hopefully it's not getting my camera too wet. Probably going to have some water droplets on the camera lens. Anyway, so this is it. So I've got links to this stuff for Dripdepot down in the description if you're interested in any of these timers or clocks or sprinkler heads, any of that stuff. There's links to all that stuff down there. And I appreciate you watching. I'm going to do the third part of this video. As soon as I finish this, I'm going to get started, and I'm going to put in the weed cloth and the gravel and all that stuff in the bottom and have it basically ready to get plants into. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Thank you.